ready to dive into something kind of surprising. We're talking about lesbian relationships and divorce. But stick with me. There's a lot here that applies to, well, all relationships, really.
That's right. Especially for anyone who feels like, they're walking on eggshells in modern love.
Exactly. Our source material today is Shattered Mirrors, a tough love guide to lesbian divorces.
Okay.
And the statistic that really jumped out at me was this. 75% of lesbian relationships end in divorce.
Wow.
Way higher than heterosexual couples.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? What can we learn from this?
Well, the book dives into some fascinating stuff using evolutionary psychology to try to explain these patterns.
Okay.
And a key concept is female hypergamy.
Oh, I've heard that term, but honestly, I'm not really sure what it means.
So it's basically this instinct in women to seek out partners who are higher status, offering greater security and resources.
Oh, okay.
It's not about being a gold digger, though. It's deeper than that. It's about survival, ensuring the well-being of offspring.
I see.
For most of human history, women relied on men for those things, protection, resources. So it makes sense they'd be drawn to partners who could provide that.
So are we talking purely financial resources here, or is it more like strength, ambition, leadership, that kind of thing?
It's definitely more nuanced than just money.
Okay.
It's about those traits that suggest, a partner can lead, protect qualities that I guess might be perceived as masculine.
Right, even in same-sex relationships.
Exactly. The book argues that these evolutionary drives don't just disappear in lesbian relationships.
Interesting.
They just manifest in different ways.
Okay, so how does this hypergamy thing actually play out in a relationship between two women?
Well, the book goes into the dynamic of butch and femme roles, which, often appear in lesbian relationships.
Even though there's no man involved, right?
Yeah, and it argues these roles aren't just societal constructs. They're rooted in these deeper evolutionary drives.
So you're saying even in same-sex relationships, women might unconsciously fall into these traditional gender roles based on their innate desire.
Exactly. And the book gives this example of Anna and Sam, a couple where Anna, the butch partner, was the breadwinner, and Sam, the femme partner, stayed home. This seemingly traditional setup created an imbalance, which led to resentment and, separation.
It's fascinating how these dynamics play out even when we think we're breaking free from those traditional gender roles.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder how much of our behavior in relationships is really driven by these deeper forces.
Absolutely. And the book argues that understanding these forces is really crucial building healthy and fulfilling relationships.
No matter who your partner is.
Right.
So if these traditional gender roles can cause tension, what happens when both partners are kind of vying for that masculine energy, that sense of leadership and control?
That's where things get really complicated.
Okay.
The book suggests that jealousy is a huge factor in lesbian breakups, often stemming from competition for attention, affection.
So it's almost like they're competing for the same limited resource.
That's a great way to put it.
Interesting.
And the book argues that this competition can be amplified.
How so?
Because there's no clear distinction between, traditional male and female roles.
I can see how that could lead to a lot of tension.
Yeah.
Especially when, societal expectations and media portrayals often fuel those insecurities.
Exactly. Creates this perfect storm where jealousy is not only present, but almost validated.
A vicious cycle. The book also touches on a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
Domestic violence in lesbian relationships.
Important to talk about.
The statistic is alarming. Nearly half of all lesbians experience physical violence in their relationship.
Right.
It definitely breaks that myth that same-sex relationships are somehow immune to abuse.
Absolutely. It's important to remember domestic violence isn't just physical.
Right.
It's about power and control, which can take many forms. Emotional manipulation, verbal abuse, financial control, even threats of outing someone.
To keep them in line.
Exactly.
And the book points out that societal pressures and internalized homophobia can actually contribute to violence in these relationships.
That's right. When you're constantly facing discrimination, prejudice from the outside world, it creates stress and tension within the relationship.
Makes it more vulnerable.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, is part of the reason for that higher divorce rate because they're dealing with so much more external pressure on top of these complex internal dynamics?
That's a really insightful point, and it's something the book really encourages us to consider.
Okay.
It highlights how these external pressures, combined with the internal dynamics, create a unique set of challenges.
So given all these challenges, what are some things that can help couples regardless of orientation. Build stronger relationships.
Well, the book really stresses the importance of communication, or rather, the lack of it.
It seems so obvious.
Yeah.
But I think we've all been in situations where communication breaks down.
And it can be incredibly damaging. It's not just about talking, it's about actively listening, trying to genuinely understand your partner's needs, perspective.
So the book emphasizes active listening,
Yeah.
which involves, more than just the words themselves.
Exactly. Body language, tone of voice.
Those subtle cues.
It's like a whole other language.
Yeah.
And the book suggests mastering that language is crucial, building that strong connection.
So effective communication is key. Are there other factors that play a big role?
Absolutely. The book dives into a factor that might surprise you. It claims that financial instability is a bigger contributor to lesbian divorces than even communication issues.
Wow. Now that is surprising.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, think about it. Money is often tied to power and control in relationships.
Right.
And when you have two women who are both potentially striving for that sense of security, financial instability can create a lot of tension.
It's like those underlying dynamics of, hypergamy and the desire for security are being tested in a very real way.
Precisely. And then there's the added societal pressure of women, often being perceived as less financially savvy, which can make those insecurities worse. The book shares this heartbreaking story of James and Sarah, a couple whose love just couldn't withstand the strain of debt and financial worries.
And they ended up getting a divorce.
It led to divorce, highlighting how corrosive financial instability can be.
It's a stark reminder that love alone isn't always enough. You have to consider those practical things like financial stability.
Absolutely.
So I've talked about communication, financial stability. What about emotional support? Does the book address that?
Absolutely. The book emphasizes how crucial it is to have a strong support system.
Like a safety net.
Yeah, for when things get tough.
And the book breaks down support into three main types.
Right.
Emotional, practical, informational.
That's right.
So emotional support is like having people who can listen, offer encouragement.
Yeah, like a shoulder to cry on.
And practical support is more tangible help, like babysitting, errands.
Even financial assistance when times are tough.
And informational support is about having people who can offer advice, guidance.
Exactly, like having a team of experts in your corner.
So the book argues all three types are essential.
Yes.
It's not just about having a couple of close friends. It's about having a diverse network.
Right, who can offer different kinds of support.
Depending on your needs.
Precisely. It's like having a well-balanced portfolio of support.
I like that. Ensuring you have the resources you need. Now, before we move on, let's take a step back and consider the bigger picture.
Okay.
This book, while focusing on lesbian relationships, offers some valuable insights into, female nature, relationship dynamic.
For sure.
Challenges that all couples face.
It's like holding up a mirror, not just to lesbian relationships, but to relationships in general.
It makes you question some assumptions we have about love, gender.
Complexities of human connections.
That's the power of a deep dive like this, right?
Absolutely.
It challenges us to look beyond the surface.
Yeah.
Consider those deeper psychological and evolutionary forces.
Confront some uncomfortable truths. Think critically about how we can build stronger relationships.
Well said. We've covered a lot.
Yeah.
From evolutionary psychology to communication, support systems, and we've only just scratched the surface.
We're just getting started.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll delve deeper into Shattered Mirrors, exploring the impact of societal expectations, the role of childhood trauma, and the book's controversial take on the importance of traditional masculinity.
Even in same-sex relations.
Even in same-sex relationships.
Okay, this is going to get even more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned. Welcome back. We're continuing our deep dive into Shattered Mirrors.
Yeah.
And this next part really gets into societal pressure, how those can impact relationships, especially same-sex couples.
It's true. We often talk about societal expectations for relationships,
Right.
but we don't always acknowledge how those expectations, often based on heterosexual norms, can create unique challenges for same-sex couples.
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Exactly.
The book gives this example of Sarah and Lisa.
Okay.
They were successful in love,
Yeah.
but felt this pressure to conform to those traditional husband and wife roles.
Even though it felt unnatural to them.
Right.
And that pressure doesn't just come from the outside world.
Oh. It can come from within the relationship itself.
You mean like?
Remember those ingrained gender roles we discussed?
Yeah.
Those can lead to power imbalances, even when both partners are women.
It's like they're consciously playing out these scripts. They've absorbed from society.
Even if they consciously reject those roles.
And when you add the lack of positive representation in media, society, it can create this feeling of like isolation, invisibility,
which can be incredibly damaging.
It's like they're constantly fighting against this tie that's trying to pull them apart.
It's constant battle.
But it's not just societal pressures, right? The book also talks about the impact of childhood trauma on relationships.
Our past experiences, especially those early traumas, can leave these like invisible wounds that affect how we interact with our partners, how we communicate, handle conflict.
It's amazing how much our past can shape our present, you know? Absolutely. The book illustrates this with Jennifer and Sam, two women who both came from backgrounds of abuse.
Oh, wow.
And those unresolved traumas eventually led to domestic violence in their relationship.
And ultimately,
divorce.
It's a reminder that the effects of trauma can like ripple through generations, impacting not just the individual.
Even relationships too.
It makes you realize how important it is to address those traumas. Not just for personal healing, but for the health of your relationship.
Couldn't agree more.
Seeking therapy, support groups.
Those can be invaluable.
For understanding how those past experiences are influencing your present.
Exactly.
Okay, ready for a curveball. This is where the book gets really challenged.
Okay.
It talks about the importance of traditional masculinity. Even in lesbian relationships.
Now that's interesting.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It seemed counterintuitive at first.
I bet.
But I'm curious to hear how the book makes that argument.
So the author suggests that those traditional masculine qualities, like strength, leadership, taking responsibility, are actually incredibly attractive to women.
Even in same-sex relationships.
Even in same-sex relationships, it goes against the current narrative, you know?
Yeah, the one that paints traditional masculinity as like toxic or outdated.
Exactly.
So it's not about rejecting those qualities altogether.
Yeah.
It's more about like finding a healthy expression of them.
Precisely. Finding that balance between strength and vulnerability, between leadership and partnership.
Recognizing that those qualities, when expressed in a healthy way, can actually be positive.
A positive force in a relationship.
That's a refreshing perspective.
Isn't it?
Especially in a world that sends such mixed messages about like what it means to be masculine. It's like the book is saying embracing those qualities rather than suppressing them.
Can lead to stronger, more fulfilling relationships.
The book argues that when those masculine qualities are missing or suppressed, it creates an imbalance.
Which can lead to dissatisfaction, conflict.
Makes you wonder if some of the relationship challenges we see today, regardless of orientation, might stem from a lack of balance in these areas.
That's a great point. Definitely something to think about.
We've covered a lot of thought-provoking stuff in this part.
We have.
We've explored societal pressures, childhood trauma, even the expression of masculine.
And how those impact relationships in sometimes unexpected ways.
And these insights aren't limited to lesbian relationships.
Right. They offer valuable lessons for anyone
who's looking to understand the complexities of,
love, partnership, human connection.
It's about recognizing that relationships are dynamic,
always evolving,
requiring constant attention and communication,
and a willingness to challenge our own assumptions.
Well said.
When we come back, we'll wrap up our exploration of Shattered Mirrors, discussing the key takeaways, leaving you with a final thought-provoking question.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Shattered Mirrors. We've been exploring some pretty complex territory.
From evolutionary psychology to the role of traditional masculinity in relationships.
And we've seen how these dynamics play out, in lesbian relationships.
Offering some insightful parallels for all kinds of relationships, really.
But before we wrap up, there's one more crucial element I think we need to touch on.
What's that?
Self-love.
Oh, absolutely.
The book really emphasizes that you can't truly love another person until you love yourself.
It's a message we hear a lot.
Right.
But it's easy to, overlook how crucial it is.
Especially when we're talking about building strong, healthy relationships.
It's so true. And it applies to everyone, not just women. If you don't have that solid foundation of self-worth, how can you create a balanced and fulfilling partnership?
It's like trying to build a house on a shaky foundation.
Exactly. You're setting yourself up for
potential collapse.
The book highlights how a lack of self-love can lead to those unhealthy patterns. Seeking validation from your partner. Settling for less than you deserve.
It can also lead to, codependency, fear of abandonment.
All of which can sabotage even the most promising relationships.
So how do we cultivate this self-love?
Right. It's a big concept.
It can feel kind of abstract.
Are there practical steps we can take?
Well, the book actually offers some really practical advice.
Oh, good.
It encourages you to spend time in solitude, connect with your passion, engage in physical activity, practice mindfulness.
It's about becoming your own best friend, basically.
Yeah.
And treating yourself with kindness, compassion,
Recognizing your own worth.
regardless of, your relationship status.
Or what anyone else says.
Exactly. It's about shifting that focus from external validation to internal acceptance.
Appreciation.
And as you cultivate that inner strength, self-assurance, it will radiate outward.
Not just in your romantic relationship.
Right, in all areas of your life.
So taking care of your own emotional well-being is just as important as tending to the needs of the relationship itself.
It's like that oxygen mask analogy,
On airplane.
You have to put on your own mask first.
Before you can help others.
Exact. And that brings us back to the overarching message of Shattered Mirror.
Okay.
Relationships are complex,
Wants.
deeply influenced by both internal and external forces.
And we've learned that understanding these forces
From evolutionary psychology
to societal expectation
can be incredibly valuable
for building those stronger, healthier relationships.
no matter who your partner is.
It's about shattering those limiting beliefs.
Those societal mirrors that, distort our perception.
Of ourselves and our relationships.
Embracing who we are, what we truly desire.
It's been a really insightful deep dive.
It has.
And I think the most valuable takeaway for me is that there's no, one-size-fits-all approach to relationship
Right. It's about understanding those fundamental human needs and desires.
that drive us all,
And recognizing that those needs and desires might manifest differently,
depending on the individual's the societal context.
For sure.
And that brings us to our final thought-provoking question.
Okay.
The book argues that traditional masculinity
With its focus on strength, leadership,
can actually be a positive force in relationship.
it definitely challenges a lot of the current narrative.
It does.
But I think it's worth considering,
That may be those qualities.
when expressed in a healthy, balanced way, can contribute to stronger, more fulfilling partnerships
It's about finding that balance
between strength and vulnerability,
between leading and listening.
providing and nurturing.
And ultimately, it's about using those qualities to build a relationship.
That feels safe, secure.
Mutually supportive.
This deep dive has given us a lot to think about.
It has.
And I encourage you to explore these ideas further.
By checking out Shattered Mirrors, a tough love guide to lesbian divorces,
You can find it on Amazon Kindle.
and Google Play Books.
Happy reading!